our own Desi version of Google Maps. It's India's first digital interactive map. Before Google Maps came into the country, it was Rohan's company that was started by his parents in the 1990s that had actually mapped the many streets and roads of India. And I'm talking about even villages. So a very warm welcome, Rohan. Map My India also won the Atmanirbhar Innovation Challenge, which is quite an accomplishment. It was launched by the Prime Minister, in fact. So many congratulations for that. So Rohan, how did you do it? You are up against a global giant, that's Google, and you've been in this country, you've done well, you've built a digital product at a time when India had not even heard of maps, leave alone digital maps.
We've been able to do whatever we've been able to do because of two things: our vision and foresight, and our perseverance and passion. What I mean by this is 25 years ago, my parents started this company because they wanted to do something unique for India. And my father had this vision that someday 80% of all data would have a location component to it. Mm-hmm. And so because digital maps did not exist in the country at that time, it was just paper maps, they saw an opportunity to build this digital map. You can think of it as a soft infrastructure, a true asset, digital asset for the country, and then unlock the power of location through various products and services that can deliver benefits to lots of different users. So that was kind of the vision, and that has kind of seeped into our DNA that a map can truly change your life in ways that you probably don't imagine. And over the course of last 25 years, we have innovated and invented, I would almost say, data, maps, and technologies, and made it available through our products and services to build a thriving business, even in the light of a large competition.
Let's hear about the innovations that you brought in with Map My India. You've got some big clients. You've got a lot of auto companies, Tata Motors, Hyundai, BMW. They're all using Map My India maps, from truck drivers to passenger cars, right? So, what is unique about Map My India, and what are the features that you've introduced which are very unique for the Indian market?
See, fundamentally, what we try to do is we help you find what you're seeking for. And we look at it in a more elevated manner, that it's not just literally a map that can get you from place A to place B. It's not just navigation, although that's a large part of what we do, but we allow you to find things that you're seeking in many different ways. So let's talk about map first, the map itself. We have built the most comprehensive, accurate, and detailed digital map for the country today. We map every house address in every building. So now when you're searching for a place, you can find it exactly on the map, not just the nearby locality where it is in or a nearby landmark. So that kind of efficiency and precision can really change your life and make it more efficient and reduce any hassle, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
We've also built the map in full 3D, so that it's a very rich experience. Our maps are also updated real time and are hyper locally relevant. For example, in this Corona time, you can see Corona hotspots near you, which is changing on a daily basis. Or if there is a curfew that has been imposed in some place because of riots or violence or protests, then those are also mapped on the map daily so that you can kind of avoid those places. So these are just some of the examples where our maps are more detailed, more accurate, and more real-time and hyper-local.
Talking about your revenues, in 2017, your revenues were at 200 crores. And there's a news report that said that by 2023, you might be touching 1,000 crores. So where are we right now?
No, I don't know whether it said about 2020 being 1,000 crores.
2023.
Okay, yeah, okay, so let me say it like that. Our revenues are in the 200 crore range, and we aspire for when we can reach 1,000 crores. We don't have a timeline for that because it really depends on how the market goes and what we are able to kind of extract from that. in terms of profits, we have a 30% profit margin on our business. So we do continue to kind of generate cash and then reinvest that in future innovation. And as the market grows and we are able to extract more value from that, our revenues will grow in line with that.
Okay, so what more innovations can we expect from MapMyIndia?
So, I mean, on the mapping side, what we're excited about is what we call the digital map twin of the real world. We are essentially building a 4-dimensional time and space map. So technologically, I don't think it gets more advanced than that, where we are saying we will build not just a map in 2D, but in full 3D, not just a map of the outdoors, but even the indoors, and also a map that is changing real time.
In terms of your revenues, you did not raise any external funding, at least for the first 10 years of, starting out your business. So your venture was largely a very customer funded model, right? So it was more conservative. You kept putting the money back into the business. Just take us through some of that, because right now a lot of entrepreneurs out there are worried that they might not be able to raise venture capital fund, or even PE investors might be difficult to come by. So how does one work with this customer funded model?
I mean, I'll start by saying that, to each his own. Each entrepreneur has their own kind of business model, vision, etc., and style of operating. In our case, this whole Atmanirbhar also applied 25 years ago to the genesis of the company. And my parents basically said that, look, we'll offer value to customers and we'll charge them for that, and we'll keep our costs in line with that amount that we earn, and we'll invest all profits back into the business so that we can organically grow. Okay. So essentially we would, there were companies like Coca-Cola, there were companies like Hutch, SR, there was Marico. There were so many companies who needed geospatial analytics in the mid-90s, because India had liberalized and they were trying to understand and enter the market or expand it in the market. And so because we were a pioneer, because we were at the cutting edge even then, we could charge a premium for our professional solutions or enterprise solutions that we would offer to them. And so really the focus was deliver value to the customer, get money from them, and fund your product development basis that. It's a slower process, I mean, no doubt. But the kind of industry we were in, the kind of challenge we had taken, that we have to digitally map the entire country, it was anyways not going to happen in 1 year. So for 10 years, basically the company built this foundation of earn money from the customers, build the IP, and only in the last 10, 15 years, we've been able to kind of exploit that in terms of monetization.
Any advice for aspiring innovators or existing entrepreneurs, innovators out there who are trying to build a cutting edge product?
I mean, on the business side, to each his own, but having a cushion and being Atmanirbhar, customer funded, having a direct business model definitely keeps you safe in the rainy days. I think if you have positive cash flow and profits, you're never running out of runway. So if somebody has that ability, that's a superpower for them. So that's one advice that, if you can have. But again, there are people who build great businesses by raising funds and being negative on the cash flow. But then they have to have a solid. So that is the second piece. Build a product that is uniquely differentiated and delivering significant value to the customer, truly, not in not those vanity metrics, but genuinely is building something great for the consumers. And if you have a great product and you run your business well with a plan in mind, sky is the limit, because I know technical talent is abounding in the country. My smallest, most important advice to an entrepreneur would be build something that is of positive impact to the world. A lot of technology is built for technology's sake, but a lot of technology is built with negative incentives in mind. And I mean, if I had built something that's socially beneficial for the world.
Okay. Now that we've had your advice for the entrepreneurs, let's get three things that you think that the government should do to enable a more conducive ecosystem for app companies and developers.
I mean, first of all, please do push on this Atmanirbhar to the maximum that you can do. I think it's a wonderful clarion call. It needs to be seen through the execution of the promotion of Indian apps. I think the second is, please do ease out the regulatory challenges. It's not necessarily at the top level where these challenges exist, it's at the ground level. So making sure that this whole directive of promoting Indian apps percolates down the bureaucracy, I think is quite critical, because that will allow the true innovation to happen unhindered, which is currently. So these are the only two things I would like to kind of echo and reiterate and amplify for the company.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rohan. We wish you the very best, and we do hope to see more innovation coming out of Map My India. I'm definitely downloading the app on my phone.